Hello, hello, hello,
Hello.
hello. Okay, before we start, we're gonna make quickly a thumbnail, and then I'm gonna ask some questions. Today it's Techno Thursdays on a Tuesday, and I'm with Blink manually here.
Hi.
So first a screenshot, and then we'll start with
How
questions.
do we do? Okay.
You can do it, Vlada. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Amazing. Amazing.
Perfect.
All right. Okay. So last week we had some technical issues with the computer, so that's why it's on a Tuesday this time. Um, but yeah, nothing changes. Same concept, different day. All right. So today I'm here with Blink manually.
Pleased to be here.
Yes, yes. It's going to be interesting because I don't know you pretty well yet, so it will be a nice conversation because I will also get to know you.
Yeah.
So the first question I always ask everybody is if you can present yourself a little bit. So what's your name? If you want to share your actual name, what styles you play, yeah, stuff like this a little bit.
So my name is Richard. I'm from France. I moved here like 4 years ago now, and I'm so a DJ and I produce as well under two names. I have Blink manually, under which I mostly play and produce techno. Like I mean, I don't really like this term, but like groovy techno mostly, and like really sample based techno. And then under 12 Art, I also produce and DJ, and I do mostly like IDM, I guess, and experimental and ambient, something like that.
Okay, pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So mainly your focus is on techno music within the electronic music, correct? Or do you sometimes go outside of techno?
I go like around techno, I guess. I mean, I have like kind of a broad definition of what techno can be. I feel like so like for example, I have some tracks with me now that are like just like synth lines with very minimal drums that I could also consider techno. But yeah, mostly I'm focused on techno under Blink manually, whether it be in the production side or in the DJing side.
All right. Amazing. And producing, how long have you been doing production?
I think it's been 5 years now. I had a few releases already. One on 091 Records. It's a label from Argentina.
Okay.
So it's my first release, an EP called Swell. Then one on Point Nemo Records, records from Sweden, record label from Sweden. Another EP. Then two various artists. One on Toru Ikemoto's label, Home Recordings, and one on Microtact's label called Portal WRX. So yeah, and then a few things upcoming.
All right. Amazing. Did you start DJing before you started production, or was it the other way around?
I think I started production first, and then I met a friend who got me more into DJing by like watching him and going to his house and trying out stuff, whatever. But yeah, I started producing mostly, and I started with drum and bass actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a very recognizable thing. A lot of people started in the drum and bass era.
Yeah, because it feels like, you know, it's fast and like you can like, it's samples, like it's pretty fun to make also.
It's pretty fun to mix as well compared to techno. It's more faster. Like you can make it more choppy. Also depends on the techno music, of course, but
Yeah,
techno
yeah,
is
yeah.
more slow and like letting the sounds fade in.
Yeah, building up and stuff. Yeah, drum and bass is like you see these crazy like crossfader moves like on the DJ set. It's really fun. Yeah.
Exactly. And like, was it your idea, because you came from production, was it your idea to use DJing as a medium in order to play mostly your own tracks and blend them together?
I mean, at first no, because I did like really shitty techno for a long time. Because I mean, you start out, you know. But I think when I mostly play other people's tracks, but when I'm like DJing in platforms like this where like it's recorded, I also play a lot of unreleased to like promote, I guess. But the main focus wasn't to play only my music, I guess. It's more like, I don't know. I like making techno to listen to also. So I like listen to techno a lot. Sometimes I don't even like have to like go to a party to listen to it. So I guess it's also like listening techno that I make or something.
really diving deep in the sounds, which are the possibility of electronic music in general, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I mostly like produce on Ableton,
Hmm.
which like mostly use samples. Like I don't know a lot about like synthesis or anything. Um, but yeah, I try to go like because Ableton allows you to go kind of like deep in sampling and use like there's like a really the way it's made in Ableton is really interesting for that. And then I also produce on Pure Data a bit. It's like
Yes, I don't know.
it's like a program. It's like it's a bit like Max for Live in Ableton. It's like you
Hmm.
create every piece of the DAW kind of. Like if you want a
Oh
sampler, you have to
yeah.
code it.
Yeah.
Stuff like this.
Okay, that's pretty cool. You're kind of making your own engine
Yeah.
to build your music with,
Yeah, in
in
a
a
way. I
way.
mean, it's very basic what I do,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's mostly like to sample things I do in this and use them again in Ableton to like yeah have my own bank of samples, kind of.
Yeah. Are you a coder on the side or like
No,
as
no,
a
no.
job?
I wouldn't say no.
Okay.
I'm study painting actually
Okay. All right.
in Antwerp at the academy. Yeah, so yeah, I don't combine them much.
Okay, okay, fair.
But
So
yeah,
like on in your life apart from DJing, you're also a painter.
yeah.
Okay, pretty cool. That's that's very unique actually. No, okay. That's very interesting. Like, do you feel sometimes by having the lessons in painting, a lot touches also your affection with your passion for music, like in how you have passion for painting, but also for music at the same time. Like, do they overlap in some kind of way?
I mean, I guess in the way they overlap, like for example, when I see my friends producing that have like no background in art in general, I guess there's like some issues they run through with like creative blocks and stuff that I kind of like already know how to handle because I've been studying painting and that yeah, in that sense it's kind of similar. Like you go through the same creative processes and but also like I think it's also useful because like I mean I'm already like obviously really fine with that, but like nowadays you can really like learn, for example, how to make like a techno track pretty easily. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's like tutorials, master classes, like CDJ stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like where it happens is not on the technical aspect of it. It's more like on the creative aspect of it because you can make like a track like Schler if you want to. Like you know, it can happen, but like like figuring out how to like develop like style, I guess, or like just go through like how what you want to make is something that I kind of already like knew how to do before I started making music, which was I think useful in that sense.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Can imagine it's useful indeed. Some people can be stuck in like finding a sound or maybe finding their own creative spot, and yeah, often you get a lot of generic music because of this occasion in a way. I feel like it though.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I don't wanna like put shade on anyone, but yeah, no, maybe, but like, I guess like everybody does what they want to do. Like
Of course.
I know some people also like just like to like know how to make bangers and just like make
Mm-hmm.
bangers to make bangers, you know, which is also fine. Like everybody needs bangers, you
Hell yeah,
know.
hell yeah.
But like, yeah, I guess like, but also like I'm gonna sound really old when I say that, but I'm not. But like, when you listen to like techno from the 90s, like James Ruskin and stuff, like no
Mm-hmm.
kick drum sounded the same, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everything was like really like personalized.
Mm-hmm.
Some things you cannot even play, like some like tracks the bass is stereo, for example,
Oh
like
yeah.
stuff like this, or it's really not quantized at all. Like for like digital now, it's some tracks from the like Jeff Mills track, for example, sometimes you cannot play in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I thought like some producers also come back to this, but like now it's like there's a way to make a kick drum in a way. Like everybody knows how to make a kick drum. It's
Mm-hmm.
like kick drum saturation, EQing, and then it's like crisp, you know.
Yeah.
But I think we like sometimes like I like tracks where it's a bit more like crafty
Mm-hmm.
and a bit like less professional. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, a bit more personal, even though when it maybe don't doesn't sound as crisp as like the classical way of how to make your kicks.
Yeah,
for
maybe
example.
stuff like this. Yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know.
Yeah,
But,
because I know
again,
there is a
like,
lot of exceptions in this as well.
yeah,
Like in the kick drums, I know many artists who still like take days making a personalized kick rather than making the best way. So it still exists.
yeah, of course, of course.
Mhm. But then for my next question, do you sometimes maybe feel listening to new releases and techno music in general that it's like going less forward rather than in the 90s?
I wouldn't say that, but like, okay, I saw like to like shift this from my point of view, but
Mhm.
I saw an interview of Steffi,
Yes.
the techno artist, and she was saying that some people are designers of techno and some people are like artists of techno, I guess. It's like some people know how to make a really good techno track, but don't really like enjoy the creative process of it, and like they mostly like look for a good techno track, and some people really like look and question everything in within making a techno track. So I guess like some people obviously still do, but I guess back then there was way less like ways of knowing how to make a good track. An industry ready track, I guess. So maybe before it was just they had no choice in a way, but to be creative, because also
They
there
had
was
to figure out.
yeah on your own, and also now with Ableton it's like so many things are easier. Like but no, I know like lots of producers still like experiment a lot and do like crazy shit. Like I'm thinking of Dog on Acid, for example. It's a Swedish producer. He's like making these crazy tracks, or like Neo, lots of people, Norback, stuff like this. Like they make like stuff like you don't know how to make it at all. You know, it's like you listen, you're like, what the fuck is this sound? Like, where is this coming from? Stuff like that.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Techno music, it has come such a long way. I've talked a lot about people also about the past, how like techno in the 90s was like something new, maybe something more minimalistic, and right now sometimes you find tracks which are like super layered and super deep. What do you prefer? Do you prefer like a more simplistic way of soundscape, or do you really try to dig deep and go into a lot of layers, a lot of depth, a lot of like tracks with literally 100 tracks of layers of sound? What do you prefer?
I guess I have taste in both, but like it's like when it's more simplistic, I guess I'm gonna be way more like how do you say, like expecting every element to like be, you know, like,
Right in the spot.
like I think the greatest to ever do it like this is DVS1.
Oh yeah.
It's like every track has probably like 8 instruments, maybe less, and that's it. But everything just sits together perfectly. Everything is like, it's crazy. And then also sometimes I enjoy like also a lot more detailed track, like Casual Treatment, for example, from Paris, does a lot of like, yeah, it's like crazy. Like you don't even know like what's going on, but it's still like, yeah, it's interesting in both ways. But I guess, yeah, if it becomes more minimalistic, then like you have to know your shit in a way. Like it's much harder to make, in my opinion, like a really good track with a few elements. Yeah, you have to like it's really hard, I think, but it's amazing sometimes.
Yep. No, I agree. I've heard you also talking about a lot of artists. Like I asked this question also to a lot of people. But do you have like maybe a top 3 or a top 5, or maybe you have like more than over 100? But artists you get your inspiration from?
For DJing or for producing?
For both. You can say for both. Let's start with DJing.
Yeah.
And then for producing.
For DJing, it's also artists I've yet to see. I haven't seen them yet, but it's just like I've listened to their sets all the time. Like DVS1, obviously, like
You haven't seen him yet?
No.
It's worth.
Yeah, I know. I really need to. But like the way he plays, like I saw like sets where you could see his mixer. It's fucking crazy. Like I really want to play like that. I mean, it's also like his way, but yeah. Then Quelza from France. Like I love the unique approach of like I feel like he could play whatever. Like I saw him like finish his set with a Philip Glass track, which is like with a track from a movie.
Oh yeah,
Like
okay.
just a synth track with like just like this like soundscape and just like this over techno, stuff like this. Like I'm really inspired by that. Like in general, I try to like look for stuff that's not necessarily techno, but to make it techno in a way, or like to implement it in a techno set. Also for DJing, Um, as I thought about this question and I had so many, but like, fuck. Yeah, I mean, I saw like, I mean, I had the privilege to play here before, like, to open a set for Butt Techno, which is like in this very, I mean, in my opinion, this very alternative scene of techno, with like more like not in the mainstream, I guess, in my opinion. I mean, I don't want to, yeah, but his set was just like I was so shocked, like what he could do with this, like also what he did with the mixer. It was like, yeah, just insane. Also in producing, he's one of my favorite people. Like I feel like I admire like immensely people that manage to build their image in the way that they could just release anything and that everybody's like there, you know. Like he could like release like a track with just guitar and then techno track, and like I saw D-Dan at RSO a few weeks ago. It was amazing, yeah. But yeah, for producing is one of my favorites. Also obviously like Alarico and stuff, but like it's like so fucking efficient. But yeah, also in producing, like Quelza is also one of them, still in producing. But yeah, I like people that like, I like sampling techno in a way, but like some people take it really like, yeah. Wow, I almost forgot. Planetary Assault System.
Oh,
like for production, it's just insane what he can do. Like also like all his aliases, like LB Dub Corp and stuff, is just mind blowing. Like it's like this guy can do it all in a way. Yeah, I like people that have like different projects at the same time that can do lots of different stuff. Like I know like under Luke Slater, he does like sometimes like bit rock songs, I guess, stuff like this. Yeah, I pretty like that.
yeah, that's pretty interesting actually. Also, one question, you say like a lot of people do some crazy things with the mixer. How important is which mixer you get for you, and can you maybe even tell which mixer you prefer playing on?
This is this is a very interesting question, but like
It's very important.
Yeah, it is. It is. I guess I don't know, because I feel like I love like Alan and Eth, obviously. But like I prefer the 92, I have to say. But
it doesn't overheat. This one overheats like crazy.
yeah, also it has the LFO thing, which is you can put on. It's amazing. I love it. But I have to say, like sometimes I like, but maybe I should like get effects for this, because I do think it sounds better because it's analog also. But like I guess also Pioneer's mixer, I just sometimes miss like having like, you know, one effect, you know, like echo or something, or just reverb, not like crazy phasers and stuff, but like, yeah, I don't know, sometimes it's just like for example, I like to put like just vocals without anything and like to play with echo, like change the time signature of the echo, like stuff like this. But in general, I prefer this, like maybe with a reverb or an echo or something. But yeah.
Yep.
And also just like having this separation with the mids is just like.
Yeah, Pioneer has one mixer which also has a separation of the mids.
Yeah, the new one. Yeah. I haven't played it.
No.
No.
Okay. Then you should try it, because maybe this is the perfect middle ground for you. You have the effects. You have the. It's also the combination actually of a classic Pioneer mixer and the Allen and Heath layout a little bit. It's quite confusing in the beginning if you're used to Pioneer, but it's just a blend. So maybe this could be something for you.
But I have to say, I don't know like a lot about mixers. Like even probably, like maybe it's a shame to say that, but probably if you would like put me two sets, one with the Pioneer, one with the Exone, I mean, apart from the effects, I would probably not be able to tell which is which.
Fair.
But like some people
I think
do.
a lot of people, some people will fairly do, but I think a lot of people wouldn't really notice it.
But to play on, I guess, like, I don't know. It's just also the way it's like the way the buttons look. It's just like more, like, This looks more like a techno mixer in a way.
Fair.
Like,
Maybe
yeah.
the 92 even more because it's also a bit darker. This one's quite bright.
Yeah. But I just love also the button feel on it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just very like superficial, but also the filters, I just love pressing it
Yeah.
instead of turning.
Yeah. It's also the difference also with Pioneer is these are pure 12-volt filters, so they are not digitalized. And with Pioneer, it's a digital filter.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the difference. Even when you have the resonance, there will be a difference in the
Yeah,
color
yeah,
of
yeah.
the sound when it goes through it.
Mhm.
That's why the L90 is so beloved, because they still use the 12-volt. And you know, if it's old, it can break pretty easily and it's pretty hard to repair. But it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy.
No, this filter is just amazing. Yeah.
One of the best in the markets.
Yeah.
Do you know by any chance the Model 1 mixer made by Richie Houghton?
I heard of it, but I've never looked it up or seen it before. But
Yeah.
I heard of it.
I'm also not sure about the details, but I think this is an analog mixer with some effects in as well, but I think they're analog as well.
Oh, wow.
It's quite an expensive one, yeah. And I had a friend actually, and he's planning on maybe also making some mixer like this, but for me personally, because I'm a big Alan Heat fan, this would be the end. Having analog effects inside your mixer.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But I like.
Oh, sorry, I swear.
But I like having, because then when you start putting like guitar pedals and stuff on
Mhm.
top, like I think it can get really interesting.
Oh yeah.
Because with like this, there's like no limit. There's like so many weird shit that you can buy,
Exactly, yeah.
or like different, like there's 10,000 types of reverb that you can use that sound different. I think it's just like,
Exactly.
that's why I think it's better, because if you have the money to buy the pedals, of course, like the possibilities are like just infinite in a way.
And also, don't get fooled by this mixer. Everybody thinks you have 2 cents, but you have a C and D channel, which you can also go push to 1 cent, and the microphone ones you can also push to a cent. So you can actually connect 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the cent itself up to 6
Oh wow!
effects if you want. Not 2,
But
6.
That's overwhelming.
But you always have to make sure you just chain them all the way to your cents for sure. And then you have to manually like turn them off and on the effect itself. But don't get fooled. This mixer is like, it's a crazy one.
Yeah, for sure.
For capabilities, of course, because I agree a bit, like the lack of effects built in sometimes is, if you don't have your own.
Yeah, but I mean also I
It's
feel like it's like there's no cheating with this, you know.
Fair.
It's like whether you know, like it's like you can manage without transitions and like without.
Exactly.
It's like then I feel like you're a real DJ in a way.
Exactly.
Or something. I don't know, but like
exactly. Yeah, I feel a bit the same. The zone is sometimes also a test for some DJs who are so used to putting the transitions with
with
only
reverb
effects.
and stuff. Yeah.
That this is the real challenge. Like, okay, can you beat sync? Even also in our studio, you know it from last time. You went. We only have 2000s now. We have a bit of different gear, but with the 2000s as well, you really push to listen rather than to look.
Yeah, which is amazing. Yeah, also.
Do you have like some interest in playing vinyl or like something non-digital, like no CDG?
I mean, vinyl, I don't know, because I love vinyl. Obviously, I have some vinyls, but I just never learned how to do it. But also, like, I just love the. I mean, I guess it sounds different as well, but I just love the capabilities of this, I have to say.
Fair.
And how like dynamic and versatile it is. But I fully respect vinyl DJs. I think it's amazing to still play vinyl, and it's like, I don't know. It's like it's like this thing. I love. Whoa. I love like these people that like are a bit obsessed with making it harder for themselves, but like to achieve a certain sound, or to like get these crazy songs that nobody has. This idea of digging also vinyl is like really like exciting, and yeah. But I also play live quite a lot.
Okay.
Apart from DJing, so, or like hybrid also. And so then it's like, for now it's only with Ableton, but I want to get gear eventually.
Oh yeah, because I want to ask, but you told you make it like more inside the box of Ableton, but do you have some hardware already which you use occasionally for production or like now for live as well?
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I just have like APC MK2, so it's just like Ableton controller basically, but I guess the one thing that you could say is kind of hardware that I use is this DAW that I also use for this called Quantum, and it was made by Bot Techno and a programmer actually, and I managed to get my hands on it, which is not that
Nice.
easy. And it's
Mhm.
like it's just a it's four samplers and four sequencers, and just like the possibilities of these samplers are just like through the roof. Like I've never seen this before, and
Okay.
it sounds like it's like really like you can chop the sample. I don't know how to say this, but you can chop the samples and stretch it in different ways in the same thing. So like some
Inside the chop,
yes.
basically. Whoa.
So like some part of the sample will sound faster and then slower and then
Oh
faster, and you
yeah.
can chop up to like 30 different.
Holy shit.
It's crazy.
What?
Yeah, and then there's just like LFOs and reverb. It's really like basic except for the samplers. So then you get like really unexpected results, which I
Mhm.
guess like that's also why I'd say it may be a bit like analog in a way, because it's not like quantized really well.
Mhm.
It's a bit
Mhm.
random at times. I mean, if you control it, of course not. But like, yeah, if you play with this live, I feel I would have the same sensation as playing with synth in a way,
Mhm.
or like with hardware gear, because it's more like, you know, if you do something you cannot fuck it up in a way.
Can you maybe use hardware gear to control this program?
I think so, yeah, but I haven't tried yet, but I think
Mhm.
so. I think there's a MIDI thing that you can use with probably even the APC I could use in it, but I haven't
Okay.
tried yet. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The sampler thing sounds so interesting.
Yeah,
Never heard
it
of it
is.
before. All right. Okay. We're coming a bit to the end because I still want to make sure you can play 1 hour.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you my last question, and I ask everybody: who is your biggest fan?
Who's my biggest fan? Well, that's a good question. I think I mean, I think it's probably like one of my friends that got me into techno, the guy that showed me how to DJ. He's called Samama, by the way, is his DJ name, and he's an amazing producer. And he's the guy I always send my stuff to, and he's always like saying nice stuff about it. No, like
Amazing.
honestly, if he wasn't here, I wouldn't be making techno in a way. So yeah, but like yeah, he's probably my biggest fan, I would say.
All right. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Good to hear. All right. We're gonna take a small break now, and then
Okay,
I'm gonna let you set everything up and play.
perfect.
Okay. So see you in a bit.
See you.
Thanks, bro. Fucking cool, man. You're so passionate. Holy shit.
I get from most of it is kind of a heavy, kind of sort of gloomy feeling, like of someone not quite at home, or or not quite relaxed, aware of a lot of things, but not quite sure about anything. I'd like to do one just feeling of being totally at home. I like to do a song or a piece of music that's just a pure expression of joy, pure, like a celebration of existence, the coming of spring, the sunrise, just pure, unbounded joy. Feeling of being totally at home.
Te